He is the strongest demon lord and created a world for himself. He became so overpowered that every girl fell for him and wanted to marry him. But like a true Riz god, he ended up creating a harem. Arata Kasuga is having weird dream where he's trapped in complete darkness. Everything around him feels cold and eerie. Out of nowhere, he hears some noise behind him, so he spins around and sees his cousin, Hijiri Kasuga, sprinting toward him. Without thinking, Arata takes off running toward her, too. Just as he reaches out to grab her hand, he suddenly wakes up. But when he opens his eyes, he realizes he's accidentally grabbed Hijiri's plot instead. Arata laughs it off like it's nothing, but Hijiri isn't having any of his shit and smash his ugly face for being so careless. They both get ready for school after that awkward moment, eating breakfast together before heading out. While they're eating, Arata makes a joke about one of Hijiri's drawings hanging on the wall, and teases her again about touching her plotted not that huge, saying it wasn't a big deal. Hijiri gets super embarrassed and chases him out of the house, her face all red. On the way to school, Arata is enjoying the normal, everyday stuff around him, feeling good about life. But then he notices something totally strange. The sun in the sky is pitch black. He's confused and asks Hijiri about it, but she just says that's how the sun has always been. Arata is puzzled but decides not to dwell on it too much. He keeps walking, trying to shake off the weird vibe. Suddenly, this tall, red-hair massive plot woman appears out of nowhere, looking pissed, and tells him that he has to reverse some kind of magic he did, or she'll end him right there. When he gets to school, Arata can't stop thinking about the mysterious huge plot woman's threat. He's distracted all day, and after classes, he heads up to the rooftop, hoping to get some alone time to think things through. He looks up at the black sun again, still trying to wrap his head around it. Hijiri finds him on the roof and asks why he seems so lost in his thoughts. Arata brings up the sun again, asking why it's black. But Hijiri starts acting strange, getting way too close and insisting that the sun has always been that way, black and lifeless. Arata starts feeling like something's off. He isn't sure if this is the real Hijiri anymore. He decides to test her by asking some personal questions. She answers them all correctly. But when he asks why she drew the sun red in her picture if it's always been black, she hesitates. Then, she bursts out laughing and admits she's not actually Hijiri at all, she's an imposter. Just as the fake Hijiri is about to spill more secrets, that same woman from earlier shows up again. But this time she's got a massive gun and fires a shot right at the imposter. The imposter quickly blocks the attack, and Arata yells at the woman for being reckless and calls her out for her over-the-top outfit. The imposter just laughs and undoes all the magic she'd cast, and suddenly, the city around them changes back from a beautiful place to a run-down, broken mess. The woman, who introduces herself as Lilith, tells Arata about a breakdown phenomenon that happened recently, a huge magical event that caused darkness to spread everywhere, swallowing up the city and everyone in it, including the real Hijiri. Arata starts remembering his last moments with the real Hijiri. She gave him this ancient, powerful book called a grimoire and kissed him to make sure he'd remember her before she disappeared. Floating in this dark void after she was gone, Arata used the grimoire to create a new world, a safe place for everyone. Lilith explains that she was sent by her magic school to investigate what happened. She demands that Arata hand over the grimoire or face the consequences. But Arata, thinking fast, decides on a different plan. He chooses to keep the grimoire and learn magic so he can save Hijiri himself. He asks the imposter if the real Hijiri is still alive, and she nods, saying that his cousin is definitely alive somewhere. Arata tells Lilith to take him to her magic academy, where he can train and become a powerful mage to rescue Hijiri. When they get to the magic academy, Lilith brings Arata to a classroom and introduces him as the new transfer student. Right away, a girl named Selena asks him what kind of girls he's into, and without missing a beat, Arata says he likes girls with big melons. She then asks if it's true that he created a whole new world, which blows everyone's mind because that's supposed to be impossible for anyone at their level. The whole class is shocked but super excited and starts putting up posters all over the school to brag about their cool new classmate. After class, Lilith takes Arata to meet the headmaster, Biblia Academy, who is impressed by Arata's strength and encourages him to work hard at Royal Biblia Academy. This place is special. It's funded by various governments and organizations to train elite mages who can solve magical mysteries and handle strange phenomena. The headmaster also mentions a group called the Trinity Seven, the top chicks at the academy, who have incredible skills. He suggests that Arata get to know them so he can learn more about magic from the best. Lilith looks embarrassed because she's one of the Trinity Seven herself. Things get even more awkward when they bump into another member, Kazama Levy, who is a super skilled ninja. Levy jumps down from the ceiling where she was hiding and introduces herself, teasing Lilith a bit and then turning to Arata, saying he seems like a straightforward guy with a bright harem. Arata asks her about the other members, and Levy introduces him to two more of the Trinity Seven, Fudo Akio and Yamana Mira, who have just returned from a mission. Arata notices they're all girls and asks Levy why that is. Levy explains that magic is better suited for women because they're more in tune with their emotions. Lilith gets even more embarrassed and runs away. Later that night, while Arata is lying in bed, his grimoire suddenly starts talking to him for the first time and tells him to go take a bath. Arata heads to the men's bathroom and finds a girl already there, but he doesn't say anything at first. She offers to help him with the shampoo, and Arata is confused and surprised. He asks why she didn't scream when he showed up, but before she can answer, he freaks out and runs out. Out in the hall, he bumps into Lilith and asks her who the strange girl is. Lilith introduces the girl as Erin, another member of the Trinity Seven. She explains a bit about Erin and then goes to scold her for sneaking into the men's bathroom. Once everything calms down, Arata gets dressed again and asks his grimoire about Erin. Even though Erin seems different, Arata can't help but notice that she looks a bit like Hijiri. He knows he has to take the Trinity Seven seriously because they will help him find Hijiri. The next day, Arata attends one of Lilith's classes. During the lesson, Erin keeps staring at Arata, making everyone in class uncomfortable. When it gets too much, Arata asks Lilith why Erin is acting so strangely, but Lilith has no idea. During lunch, Erin continues to follow Arata everywhere, even in the fucking bathroom. Finally, Arata stops her and asks why she's been following him all day. Erin tells him it's because she's his destined wife. Arata is shocked and asks what she means. Erin explains that she's supposed to be the Demon Lord's wife, and since Arata is a candidate for the Demon Lord, she's automatically supposed to be with him. This surprises Arata, and he tries to tell her that he's not interested in his flat board, but Erin leaves before he can say anything, hoping he'll understand her one day. After a long day at school, Arata Kasuga heads back to his dorm room, hoping to finally get some rest. But when he walks in, he finds Selena, Levy, and Lilith all waiting for him, sitting around like they have something important to talk about. Confused, Arata asks why they're there. The girls tell him they want to interview him, which catches him off guard. But he's curious, so he sits down to see what they have to ask. They start with a simple question, asking Arata what his favorite food is. He grins and says it's fried chicken. The girls laugh and joke about sneaking some poison into his meal, and Arata laughs along, thinking they're just being silly. They keep joking around that make it look like Lilith is servant of Arata, which makes her blush bright red. After some more playful banter, Arata asks them if they can teach him some magic. Feeling embarrassed from all the jokes, Lilith agrees to teach him the basics. Levy and Selena can't help but tease her more, making her even more flustered. Arata then asks about his grimoire, curious to know more. Lilith explains that the grimoire he has is called the Estelle Codex, a legendary book that contains knowledge from another world. Not much is known about it, but Lilith starts explaining the basics of magic to Arata. She tells him that to become a mage, you have to choose a thema, which is like a focus or theme for your magic. All mages build their skills around their chosen thema, and these themes are based on the 7 deadly sins, like pride or wrath. Just as Lilith is about to explain more, a strange wormhole appears on the ceiling, and everything goes dark. When Arata wakes up, he realizes he's accidentally grabbed Lilith's gigantic plot again. She slaps him, and he quickly lights up the room using his grimoire. They look around and realize they're trapped in Arata's room by some kind of prank or spell. The grimoire speaks up, saying they need to find a hidden key to unlock the door and escape. Right after giving them this clue, the grimoire goes silent and the lights go out again. Arata, not wanting to be stuck in the dark, asks the grimoire to keep the lights on so they can search for the key. The lights flicker back on, but then the grimoire goes quiet again. Arata tries some random things, like breaking a chair against the door, but nothing works. Frustrated, they all start searching the room for any clues that might help them find the key. Minutes go by, but they find nothing. Then, out of nowhere, Lilith starts to feel desperate because she needs to pee really badly. She tries to hold it in, but it's obvious she's struggling. She begs the others to hurry and find the key. And soon Levy and Selena start feeling the same way. Seeing that the girls are in a tight spot, Arata decides to take matters into his own hands. He wakes up the grimoire again and decides to play a trick to get it to spill the secret of where the key is. With the girls' help, they manage to fool the grimoire, and it finally reveals the location of the key and the barrier. Lilith quickly finds it, destroys the barrier, and the girls rush out to find the bathroom. After they leave, the Estelle Codex compliments Arata on how clever he was to trick it. Curious, Arata asks the grimoire what exactly a thema is. Just then, Aaron walks in and offers to explain it to him. Aaron tells Arata that a thema is like a guiding principle or a theme that shapes a mage's magic and powers. Feeling a bit relieved after the stressful situation, Arata jokes about being trapped in a small room with 3 girls. Aaron, playing along, lifts her skirt to show him haven, causing Arata to quickly tell her to stop messing around and be normal. Right then, the Estelle Codex speaks up and asks who Arata's new friend is. Aaron steps closer and introduces herself to the grimoire, which seems to be quite taken with her, flirting a bit. Arata, not wanting to get distracted, cuts in and asks Aaron to explain what being a demon lord means. Aaron breaks it down simply, saying that the demon lord is basically the strongest and most powerful mage around, kind of like the ultimate boss. Before they can continue talking, the headmaster bursts into the hallway, acting all crazy and dramatic. Arata and Aaron decide to move to another room to have a more private conversation. Lilith shows up again, and Arata, being Riz God, can't resist asking Lilith to be his second wife. She gives him another slap, and they get back to talking seriously. Lilith asks Aaron why she locked them in the room earlier, and Aaron reveals it was the headmaster's idea. He thought Arata might cause another magical disaster, called a breakdown phenomenon, if left alone with a group of girls. Fed up with the headmaster's tricks, Lilith and Arata decide to get back at him. They manage to lock him in a room to keep him out of their way, and then continue their discussion. Suddenly, Aaron gets up and places her hand on Arata's shoulder, and a bright white light fills the room. Aaron activates her thema, called Ira, and removes the magical limiter on Arata's grimoire. With the limiter gone, Arata's magic starts going wild, and soon the entire school is being sucked into another breakdown phenomenon. Lilith quickly pulls out her gun, ready to shoot Arata to stop the chaos, but Aaron jumps in front of her to block the shot, refusing to let her harm him. Just then, Akio and Mira arrive, using their themas to counteract the effects of the breakdown phenomenon. With their powers, they manage to calm things down, but just when it seems like everything's under control, Akio channels her magic into her feet and tries to kick Arata with a powerful attack. Everyone tries to stop her, but they can't, and it looks like she's going to finish him off. But right before the kick lands, Arata suddenly disappears. A few days later, since the school was heavily damaged in the chaos, Arata and the other students are sent to camp out at a beachside resort while the headmaster works on repairing the school. As punishment for causing so much trouble, Arata and Aaron are put to work at the resort, doing all sorts of chores while their classmates get to relax and have fun. While the others play on the beach, Lilith finds Arata and Aaron washing dishes and scolds them again for causing all the trouble. She tells them that the headmaster is busy fixing the school, which surprises Arata since he didn't realize the headmaster was so skilled at magic. Lilith explains that even though the headmaster can be a bit of a handful, he's actually one of the most powerful mages alive. At that moment, Selena and Levi show up, teasing Arata again. They pull off Lilith's cover-up, revealing her in a bikini. Arata stares, clearly impressed, and compliments her figure, which makes the girls giggle. They whisper to Arata that Lilith is just trying to get his attention, thinking he might be interested in her. This leads Arata to misunderstand the situation completely. He gets way too close to Lilith, grabs her hand, and asks her to marry him. Lilith is shocked and blushes for a moment but quickly snaps out of it. She pulls out her gun and threatens him, saying he better not mention this to anyone ever again. Arata quickly nods, getting the message loud and clear. But why didn't Arata die from Akio's attack earlier? It turns out that just milliseconds before Akio's powerful kick landed, Arata managed to vanish into thin air. At first, Akio thought she had defeated him, but when Lilith and the others couldn't sense his magic anymore, they realized something was off. As Akio and her partner started to leave, the room began to shake again, which could only mean one thing: Arata was still alive. Arata wakes up in a dream world filled with floating musical notes. He hears the sound of a violin and follows it, eventually finding a door. Inside, he sees a girl playing the violin in a pink room. He recognizes her name from the sign on the door and calls out to her, Yui. She smiles and tells him that he's in a dream world and that even though she'd love to talk more, he has more important things to handle. Meanwhile, in the real world, weaker mages are disappearing. Arata tells Yui he needs to return and help his friends, but Yui asks if he knows how to stop the magical chaos he started. Arata admits he doesn't have a clue. Yui reassures him and says she'll explain everything. To stop the breakdown phenomenon, Arata has to find and activate his thema, which is like choosing his path in magic. He needs to pick one of the 7 deadly sins as his theme, pride, envy, wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, or lust. This choice will make him an official mage. After thinking it over, Arata makes his decision, thanks Yui for her help, and returns to the real world. When he gets back, he finds the girls trapped in a giant crystal ball. He somehow gets inside the ball and begs Akio and Mira to let him try to stop the breakdown phenomenon. They give him a chance, and he pulls out his grimoire, selecting his new thema, Rule, from the Archive of Pride, which is the opposite of Mira's thema, Justice. As soon as the grimoire locates the right page, Arata transforms into his powerful Magus mode. With his new abilities, he not only stops the magical chaos but accidentally makes the girls' clothes vanish too. The girls freeze in shock, unsure of what just happened. Mira and Akio quickly cover up and leave, embarrassed. Then, to his surprise, Arata's clothes disappear as well. Afterward, he boasts about his Magus mode to the others, but Lilith scolds him for showing his Excalibur. Levi steps in, teasing Lilith by poking her plot, which makes Lilith blush and moan in cultural way. Losing her patience, Lilith pulls out her gun and fires, blowing a hole in the beach house wall in frustration. Later on, Selena and Arata are hanging out alone by the rocks near the beach. Selena asks Arata if he could show her his Excalibur, Magus mode, so she can take some notes and study his powers. Arata isn't too sure about showing off, but he decides to summon his grimoire, the Estelle Codex, anyway. The grimoire starts teasing him, but Selena manages to convince it to let her see Arata's Magus mode. Since they're alone, Arata activates his Magus mode, but Selena quickly traps him with a binding spell so she can take some pictures. Arata breaks free from the spell, but in the process, he accidentally tears Selena's plot armor. That night, while they are heading back to their rooms, Selena tells Levi about the embarrassing moment with Arata. Levi laughs and calls Arata a pervert for ripping Selena's clothes. Just then, they hear some sus noises coming from Lilith's room. Curious, they sneak closer to listen in, trying to figure out what's going on. The noises get louder, and they can't help but eavesdrop. Suddenly, Lilith swings the door open and catches them spying, smacking both of them on the head as punishment. After getting caught, Levi asks what was going on in the room. Arata explains that he's been trying to practice and improve his magic skills so he can become stronger and eventually save his cousin. Hijiri, one of the girls, suggests they should talk more about their problems while relaxing in the outdoor bath. Everyone agrees, and they all head that way. On their walk, Arata remembers some moments he had with the headmaster and asks about the last two members of the Trinity Seven he hasn't met yet. Selena explains that one of them is Yui, a strange mage who only communicates with people through their dreams. Arata surprises them by saying he met Yui in one of his dreams. When he asks about the last member, Lilith says they have no idea where that person is right now. Soon, they arrive at the mixed-gender bath and get ready to take a dip. Arata is a bit disappointed to see the girls wearing their swimsuits. He had thought they might go in without anything on. Mira gets annoyed at his comment and decides to leave the bath with her partner, Akio. Trying to make conversation, Arata asks what the deal is with Akio and Mira. Selena explains their powers to him, then shifts the conversation back to Arata's own magic skills. After chatting for a while, Selena suggests that Arata create a magical weapon, like a sword or a gun, to boost his abilities. Arata is interested and asks Lilith if he can see her magic gun so he can learn from it. Lilith warns him that it's not as simple as copying someone else's magic because each mage has a unique theme and their own way of using magic. Everyone agrees with Lilith, teasing Arata and calling him a level 1 demon lord since he's just starting out. But Arata doesn't give up easily. He gets out of the bath, bows his head, and begs Lilith to show him her gun. After some persuasion, Lilith finally agrees and summons her magic gun, but not before giving him a light slap for being so pushy. Arata then asks the Estelle Codex to create a similar weapon for him. To everyone's shock, the grimoire actually makes a magic gun just like Lilith's. Lilith is stunned, realizing that Arata can somehow copy other mages' magic techniques, which is supposed to be impossible. Everyone is left speechless by this revelation. Later, as Arata and Lilith are walking down the school corridors, Arata can't stop bragging about his new ability to copy magic. Lilith tries to calm him down, reminding him not to get too arrogant because all he's really doing is copying the surface level of the magic, not mastering it completely. When they reach the classroom, they find everyone asleep. Arata jokes that it's Lilith's fault for leaving her students alone, but Lilith looks closer and realizes something is wrong. Soon, the other members of the Trinity Seven gather in the headmaster's office to discuss the situation. After hearing their thoughts, the headmaster suggests it might be another breakdown phenomenon. He even suggests that he and Arata to destroy their plot to wake them up, the sleeping students. But Lilith quickly shuts that down, resetting their perverted minds back to normal. Feeling tired, Akio and Mira decide to handle the problem themselves. After they leave, Lilith asks the headmaster if this really is a breakdown phenomenon. He sighs and mentions an underground dungeon where the sixth member of the Trinity Seven, Yui, is currently located. Arata immediately realizes Yui is the girl he saw in his dreams. The headmaster gives them directions to the dungeon, and the group sets off to investigate. As they head down into the dungeon, they notice weird star and diamond patterns on the walls, making the place look like something out of a dream. Levi tells Arata about Yui's powerful abilities, how she could potentially put the entire world to sleep if she wanted. There are even rumors that Yui's powers are almost as strong as those of the Demon Lord or even the headmaster, who is supposed to be the strongest mage. Understanding how serious this mission is, Arata and the others switch into their Magus modes and follow Levi through a tunnel. While walking through the tunnel, they run into some creepy shadow creatures from another dimension. These shadows look like people in bad Halloween costumes, but they're surprisingly strong. Arata quickly takes out his grimoire and asks it to create a magic gun like before. This time, the grimoire messes up and makes a hair dryer instead. Frustrated, Arata throws the hair dryer on the ground and uses his cancel magic, which accidentally strips the girls of their clothes and makes their magic temporarily useless. Luckily, Levi's powers are still working, and she uses her ninja skills to defeat all the shadows. With the shadows defeated, they keep moving deeper into the dungeon, running through dark hallways. Suddenly, Lilith feels something strange touching her in plot armor, and she starts making sus noises. She immediately thinks it's Arata being inappropriate, but Erin uses her magic to cancel out the shadows that were actually causing it. Arata thanks Erin for the help, but he can't stop thinking about Lilith's reaction, making her blush and turn away. Just then, more shadows appear, but Levi quickly slices them up again. As they continue forward, Levi gives Arata some advice on becoming a demon lord faster and encourages him to keep going so she can see what kind of demon he'll turn into. After clearing out the shadows, they move on, finally reaching the bottom level of the dungeon. Along the way, they run into Akio and Mira and stop to talk. Arata asks why they're so focused on blaming Yui, suggesting that there could be another reason for the breakdown phenomenon. Akio and Mira aren't interested in talking. They just want to defeat whoever they think is responsible. The other girls try to remind them that Yui is part of their team, but Akio and Mira aren't convinced. Akio challenges Levi to a fight to settle the argument, and Levi agrees, telling Arata and the others to keep moving while she takes care of Akio. Levi uses her wind magic to create a huge typhoon, which causes Arata to accidentally get a glimpse of Mira's plot armor. Mira gets angry and shouts at Akio to deal with Arata, but Lilith takes the chance to pull Arata away from the fight. They run down the hall and finally find a huge door that leads to the main chamber. When they open it, they see Yui tied up to a giant dragon. As they look around for clues, the dragon wakes up and merges its magic with Arata's, causing Arata to grow black demon wings. The dragon then breathes purple fire at Arata, trying to burn him. Erin jumps in front of the attack, taking the hit to protect Arata. Lilith quickly fires her magic gun at the dragon, which weakens it for a short time. At that moment, Mira and Akio show up and decide to join the fight against the dragon since they now have a common enemy. They agree to work together to take down the dragon. Levi approaches Arata, who is still hurt from the earlier attack, and tells him how to fold his demon wings back in. She encourages him, saying this fight is just another step toward finding his cousin, Hijiri. Fired up, Arata gets serious and asks Levi to teach him how to use his gun properly. Levi gives him some quick tips on how to aim and shoot, telling him that mastering this weapon is the only way to save Yui from the dragon. She then hands Arata over to Lilith, who shows him in the Estelle Codex how to use alchemy to create things from magic. After learning the basics, Arata tells his grimoire to get ready to create the best magic gun possible. Levi pauses her fight to come over and kiss Arata's hand, transferring some of her magic to him and giving him a final tip on how to form the weapon. Feeling ready, Arata charges at the dragon, focusing all his energy on creating the perfect magic gun. He successfully forms the gun and fires a powerful shot, hitting the dragon with all his strength. The shot is so powerful that it defeats the dragon in one blow, freeing Yui from its grasp. The next morning, Arata wakes up and is shocked to find Yui and Erin lying next to him, completely plotless. He has no idea how this happened and starts panicking. Just then, Lilith bursts into the room to wake him up, and when she sees the two naked girls beside him, she freaks out and starts yelling. Arata play like a Giga Chad and asks if she also wants to get a taste of his meat. but Lilith gets all embarrassed and flustered by the situation. After that awkward start to the day, everyone gets ready for PE class. Yui and Eren stick close to Arata as they head out to watch the girls do their exercises. While they're watching, Arata can't help but comment on how nice Lilith's gigantic plot looks, jokingly telling Yui and Eren that if they want him to like them more, they should aim to have a plot like hers. This makes Yui and Eren a bit jealous, and they pout. Not long after, Akio and Mira show up, looking annoyed. They decide to confront Arata about his comments. Arata quickly tries to explain himself, saying he's just a regular guy with normal feelings and didn't mean anything by it. Mira then sits down next to Yui and warns her to control her powers, or else she and Akio will have to step in and stop her, following the rules of the Magic Society. Suddenly, Selena appears with her camera and suggests they have a competition among the Trinity Seven to see who gets to deal with the Demon Lord candidate, Arata. Lilith arrives and tries to get everyone to focus on P, but Levi and Akio ignore her and immediately jump into their Magus modes, ready to continue the battle from the dungeon. Eren doesn't hesitate and joins in, activating her own Magus mode. Selena is thrilled and starts snapping photos of the action, capturing every moment. She then looks over at Lilith and asks her to join the fight, too. Lilith, feeling shy as usual, just covers her plot, not wanting to get involved. Yui, licking her lips, decides to get serious. She connects to her archive and, for the first time in front of everyone, activates her Magus mode. She prepares herself to join the battle. Using her special power, Star Night Serenade, Yui transports everyone into her dream world. Inside the dream, everyone falls asleep except for Arata, who remains awake. Yui walks up to Arata, and they start talking about random things. They're having a nice chat until Mira suddenly appears out of nowhere. Mira managed to resist Yui's magic and stay awake. She complains about Yui's weird behavior and then fades away again. Yui, feeling playful, tries to kiss Arata, but he stops her, asking to know more about her first. Yui gets a little upset but then decides to open up. She tells Arata that she's been asleep for so long that she hasn't had a chance to make any friends. She feels lonely and isolated, with Levi being the only one who treated her nicely. Feeling bad for her, Arata pats Yui on the head and offers to be her friend. Yui's face lights up, and she moves closer to Arata. He starts to think about losing his V card, but suddenly, even in her sleep, Lilith somehow senses what's happening and shouts at him to stop. Arata, surprised, quickly backs off. Yui then kisses him on the cheek to thank him for being kind. As they talk, the dream world starts to fade away, and they both wake up back in the real world. They find themselves lying on the bed, surrounded by the other girls who are just waking up. With Arata having now met 6 of the Trinity Seven, they hope to find the last member soon. Meanwhile, Mira is taking a bath in the bathhouse. She's lost in her thoughts and doesn't notice Akio sneaking up behind her. Akio startles Mira, causing her to slip and splash into the water. Laughing, Akio helps her up and joins her in the bath. As they soak, Akio encourages Mira to open up about what's bothering her. After some nudging, Mira finally admits that she's scared about the recent breakdown phenomena. She's worried they might have something to do with Arata, the Demon Lord candidate. Akio tries to cheer her up, saying that as long as they stick together, they can handle anything. She tells Mira to focus on being a strong leader for the Grimoire Society, while she will be Mira's sword and protector. Later that night, a massive thunderstorm strikes the academy, causing another breakdown phenomenon. The next morning, some of the students blame Yui and Arata, thinking they might have caused the incident. But Arata steps up and defends Yui, insisting she had nothing to do with it. Lilith and Mira discuss the type of magic they sensed during the phenomenon, realizing it felt similar to what they experienced in the library before. They suspect there might be a ghost haunting the school. Arata, Levi, Yui, and Eren gather to talk about what happened. They learn that a few years ago, during a similar storm, something strange happened in the library. One of the twin sisters who were studying there suddenly awakened some kind of power, while the other sister was asleep. The windows shattered, and the older twin vanished without a trace. Hearing this story, Arata becomes determined to investigate. He quickly finds Lilith and the others to share his plan. While walking through the library, he spots Selena sitting by herself, looking down. He asks her why she's upset, but before she can answer, a strange purple magic blast hits the school, teleporting Arata and the girls to a new place called the Eternal Library. In this mysterious place, everyone quickly gets into their Magus modes, ready for a fight. Arata, trying to prepare himself, accidentally grabs Selena's plot in the confusion. Before he can apologize, a dark magic attack is thrown at him. Thankfully, Selena pushes him out of the way just in time. Arata looks up and sees the last member of the Trinity Seven, Lisa. Lisa is a rogue mage with the power to drain other people's magic. She taunts the group, revealing some things about herself, and then teleports right in front of Arata, attempting to steal his magic. Selena quickly steps in to block her and shoves Arata aside. Lisa continues to boast about her abilities and starts draining some of Selena's magic. Suddenly, Mira's magic detector orb picks up a massive amount of dark magic. Lisa grows black wings and transforms into a demon lord candidate, just like Arata. Meanwhile, Selena is left weak and struggling to breathe after Lisa drains her magic. Seeing her friend in such a bad state, Lilith challenges Lisa, accusing her of being cruel to her own sister. When talking doesn't work, Arata decides to step up. He activates his Magus mode and prepares to fight Lisa. But instead of attacking, Lisa sits down and starts writing notes about Arata's strengths and weaknesses. Everyone is confused. When they ask why she's doing this, Lisa explains that she also stole some of Selena's research along with her magic. She reveals she wants Arata to join her side and tries to convince him to team up with her. Arata, being a good guy, refuses. Frustrated, Lisa tries another tactic. She moves in close and kisses Arata to distract him and suck all his magic powers. After the kiss, Lisa's power increases even more, while Arata feels weak and powerless. Her wings grow larger, and she decides to test out her new strength. She snaps her fingers and uses Arata's magic to strip all the girls of their clothes, except for Mira, who had her protective magic ready, and Levi, who quickly dodged out of the way. Levi and Mira come up with a plan and prepare to attack. Levi goes in first, but Lisa underestimates her and barely avoids a serious hit. Levi lands and gets ready for Lisa's counterattack, but Lisa teleports behind her, trying to trap Levi's arm with her magic. However, Levi breaks free and leaps into the air, ready to strike again. She recognizes Lisa's power but leaves the next move to Mira, who has been watching Lisa's every move. Mira charges up her magic orb and unleashes a huge attack on Lisa. Lisa, thinking she can handle it, realizes too late how strong the attack is and just manages to dodge in time. Lisa tries to sneak up on Mira to steal some of her magic, but Mira is prepared. She senses Lisa coming and dodges skillfully. Lisa reappears and thanks Arata's magic for helping her out. At that moment, Arata wakes up and sees Aaron and Lilith checking on him. He thanks them for their help and apologizes for getting caught in Lisa's trap. The girls remind him that he only survived because of the grimoire. Feeling grateful, Arata thanks the grimoire and starts to understand more about Lisa's powers. Instead of giving up, Arata stands up and challenges Lisa to a rematch. Lisa makes a rude comment about Hijiri, which makes Arata furious. As his anger grows, Lisa's wings start reacting to his emotions. Sensing danger, Levi grabs her kunai and jumps into the air to attack. Lisa and Levi both teleport at the same time, but Levi is quicker and manages to corner Lisa. Lisa realizes she's in trouble and tries to figure out Levi's next move, but it's too late. Levi slashes Lisa's wings, causing her to lose her powers temporarily. Knowing she's been beaten, Lisa decides to retreat for now to learn more about Arata's magic. As soon as she vanishes, the Eternal Library disappears, and they find themselves back in the school's library. The girls turn to Arata, annoyed that he fell for Lisa's trick. Arata gives them a sheepish grin and then notices Mira, who is still half naked. Embarrassed by his stare, Mira decides it's time to train Arata properly so he'll be ready for the next time Lisa shows up. After some time, Mira and Akio decide to take Arata outside to the schoolyard to train him on how to make magic spells. Arata nervously asks them to go easy on him, but they quickly tell him there's no time to take it slow. He has to learn fast, or he might not make it out alive next time. Without explaining further, Akio stomps her foot on the ground and starts chasing Arata around the yard. Arata yells and runs as fast as he can, trying to get back inside the school to escape her. Meanwhile, Lilith goes to check on Selena, who is still resting after their last battle. She finds Yui playing the violin softly to help soothe Selena's pain, while Aaron stands by the window, staring out into the yard, watching Arata's training. The girls start talking about Arata again, wondering if he will show any improvements soon. Levi also shows up to check on Selena and joins the conversation with the other girls. Out in the yard, Arata is not having a good time. Akio kicks him in the head, sending him flying straight into Mira. He lands right on top of her and, trying to catch his balance, accidentally places his hands on her plot. "I think it got all of our luck," he begs, knowing he's in trouble, even though he can feel blood trickling down his forehead. He tries to distract Mira with a goofy speech to buy himself some time, but Mira is not amused. She screams and kicks his ugly, worthless ass, sending him sprawling across the ground. Arata wipes the blood from his forehead and asks Akio what the next lesson is. Akio tells him that this time, he needs to learn how to block attacks instead of just dodging them. If you keep running away, you'll never learn how to defend yourself against Lisa's magic when she comes back, she explains. Since Arata already knows how to copy magic, Akio believes this shouldn't be too hard for him. Just as his second training session begins, Lisa returns to the school, bringing along a bunch of shadowy creatures with her. She sends these shadows to possess the weaker students and starts draining their magic, ripping their plot armor in the process. The headmaster and his assistant arrive on the scene, the headmaster acting goofy before quickly becoming serious. Moments later, Lisa appears, and the headmaster sends his assistant to protect the students while he faces Lisa. Lisa, thinking she can easily handle the headmaster, attacks him with a shadowy blast after mocking his intelligence. The headmaster easily dispels her attack and instantly appears behind her. He grabs her, giving her a stern lecture about underestimating her enemies. Lisa manages to break free from his grip and launches a second attack, this time using Selena's magic to bind him. But the headmaster isn't fazed. He gives her another lecture about analyzing the structure of magic spells before casting a counter spell to break free. Lisa can't help but be impressed by the headmaster's skill. She vows to learn from his tactics once she gets her hands on his magic. Just as she's about to launch her final attack, the headmaster reveals his grimoire, Hell's Gate, an incredibly powerful book of spells. Lisa is shocked at the sight of such a powerful grimoire. The headmaster uses this moment to show off his other grimoire, Solomon's Gate, hoping to intimidate Lisa and prevent her from attacking the school. However, Lisa isn't easily discouraged. She decides to play her ultimate move and pulls down her plot armor, exposing her melons. The headmaster, falling for her trick, rushes toward her, leaving himself open. Lisa takes advantage and smacks him out of the room, then heads straight for Selena's room. The headmaster, realizing he's been tricked, admits defeat but warns Lisa about the dangers of using magic that is too powerful for her. Meanwhile, Akio, Mira, and Arata hear the commotion inside the school. They realize they need to speed up their training if they want to help. To stop Lisa, Arata must learn how to use Akio's magic technique, the mantra enchant. As they try to figure out a way to do this quickly, the Estelle Codex, Arata's grimoire, suddenly speaks up. It reveals that it has already copied the mantra enchant spell ages ago. Akio and Mira are surprised by the power of the grimoire, and before they can say anything, the Estelle Codex shocks them again by transforming into a human form. Mira and Akio are stunned to see a grimoire come to life. Inside Selena's room, Erin senses the grimoire's summoning, but before she can react, Lisa bursts in and steps right into a trap levy set by the door. Lisa quickly cuts herself free and heads over to the bed to check on her sister. She regrets not having a chance to turn Selena into an evil mage, but she knows Selena would never turn evil so easily. Selena wakes up after hearing her sister's voice and proposes a challenge. If Arata can beat Lisa in a fight, then Lisa will turn good and come back to the Trinity Seven. Lisa laughs and tells Selena it's nearly impossible for her to change her ways. She gently puts Selena back to sleep, then summons her demon wings, preparing to attack the girls. Just then, Arata arrives with the enhanced mantra enchant and stops Lisa from harming the girls, thanks to help from the Estelle Codex, now calling herself Sora. Sora introduces herself to the girls and leaves the rest of the explanation to Arata. Arata explains that Sora told him to pour all his willpower into the mantra enchant spell to make it strong enough to defeat Lisa. Akio agrees, adding that putting everything he has into the spell will make it 10 times stronger. With her energy fading, Akio infuses some of her power into Arata's grimoire, and then collapses for a bit. Now fully charged, Arata knows he has to prove himself as the Demon Lord candidate. He charges at Lisa, ready to make his move, but suddenly stops when her bra falls off. Lisa is confused and tries to blame it on a mistake, but the whole room is baffled. Maybe she didn't tie her bra straps properly. They all pause the fight for a moment and start talking about silly things like kisses and huge plot. Luckily, Lisa gets her clothes back on and prepares to fight again. Arata summons the blue mantra enchant dragon and rushes toward Lisa to plant the mantra on her. Lisa sees him coming and teleports behind him. Arata tries to counter her move, but Lisa keeps teleporting all over the room. She catches him off guard and places her hand on his plot, but Arata's body has already been reinforced with magic, so her spells don't work. They both pause again to chat about silly things. Then Lisa decides to use her strongest spell, the Lost Technica secret spell of Acedia, which slows down time across the entire school. This spell makes everything move so slowly that everyone appears to be frozen. She gives Arata a moment to say his goodbyes before freezing him completely. But Arata, smiling confidently, dares Lisa to come for his magic. Just before Lisa freezes him and Sora in time, Arata sticks out his tongue and quickly shares a plan with Sora. Lisa notices something suspicious but decides to ignore it. She freezes Arata, walks up to him, and kisses him. However, right after the kiss, she starts feeling the effects of the mantra enchant. She falls to her knees in pain as Arata and Sora break free from the time spell. It turns out that when Lisa kissed Arata's tongue, she touched the mantra sedum spell he had placed there, which blocked her powers. Now, Lisa loses control of her magic and becomes too weak to break out of the frozen state. Instead of attacking her, Arata hugs Lisa and begs her to come back to the Trinity Seven. Lisa gets emotional and admits that using the time freeze spell was a mistake. Lisa explains that any mage who uses the time freeze spell risks getting stuck in it because there's no known spell to break free from it. Accepting her fate, Lisa kisses Arata for real this time and returns them all to the real world. Arata pleads with her to remember her sister and fight to break free with all her strength. Lisa smiles and releases the time freeze spell. Back in the real world, Arata finds himself accidentally grabbing Lilith's plot again. After getting punished by Lilith, everyone turns their attention to Selena, who is still worried about her sister. Although Lisa was an evil mage, Mira decides to give Sora and Selena the authority to teach Arata the Logos arts, so he can gain enough experience to one day release Lisa from the time freeze spell. With Mira's blessing, she leaves the room with Akio, and Arata gets up, determined to get Lisa back to their side. Outside the school, the headmaster and his assistant are preparing to investigate a school in the west that was recently attacked and destroyed by Iscariot, an evil mage cult with members like Lisa. A few days later, Arata dives into learning Logos magic arts, which is one of the toughest types of magic out there. During one of his lessons, he's supposed to be drawing magic circles, but he just can't seem to focus. Frustrated, he asks Levi and the other girls for help. Levi, always ready with a joke, tells him he should lick his fingers to help him concentrate better. Arata blushes, knowing that's way too strange for him to even try. Yui, giggling, then offers to let him hold her plot if it would give him inspiration. But, to everyone's surprise, Arata turns down their silly offers. He says he's saving all that for another day. This really surprises Lilith, who's been secretly watching from a distance. She's impressed that Arata is staying focused, even with all these distractions around him. After the lessons are over for the day, Lilith decides to follow Arata back to his dorm room. She wants to congratulate him on how hard he's been working. She ends up going inside his room to talk more about his magic training. While they're talking, Sora, Arata's grimoire, appears and changes into her human form to join in on the conversation. Lilith tells Arata that she's happy he's improving, but she's also worried he might get too full of himself and make a mistake. Logos magic is really tricky, and things could go wrong fast. Arata thinks about it for a moment and then tells Lilith that he's ready to take any risk if it means he can save Lisa from whatever terrible fate she's facing. Before they can continue talking, the pause system comes on, calling Arata and Lilith to the headmaster's office. On their way there, Arata accidentally bumps into Mira and, without meaning to, sees her panties again. Mira gets super mad and yells at him while the headmaster just laughs at the awkward situation. Soon, all the members of the Trinity Seven are gathered in the office. The headmaster announces that Arata is getting promoted to assistant head chief of inspection. Mira is shocked and asks why Arata is getting such a big job. The headmaster explains that Lilith will be guiding Arata to help him learn and do a good job. Mira is still suspicious and asks why Arata is being promoted so suddenly. The headmaster then tells them that a school in the west was recently destroyed, and he wants the group to go there and find out what happened. After the meeting, all the girls go to Arata's room. They start teasing Lilith again, making her all embarrassed. But this time Arata tries his best not to look at anyone's plot. After some joking around, Arata gets curious about the different archives each girl is connected to. Lilith explains the archives, but when it comes to her own, she gets really shy. Arata tries to encourage her to share, but she's too embarrassed. After a lot of persuasion, she finally admits her theme is lust from the archive of Luxuria. Arata starts to get why Lilith is often so shy about her magic and her body. Feeling awkward, Lilith sits down and even starts to cry a little. Arata tries to make her feel better but almost gets blasted for teasing her again. Deciding to change the subject, Arata asks the other girls about their themas. They explain that Levi can't feel jealousy, Aaron never gets angry, and despite her powers, she isn't as flirty as one might expect. After their meeting, Lilith begins teaching Arata how to be a great chief inspector. Time flies by, and soon the day is over. Arata notices that Lilith has fallen asleep on the floor, so he gently covers her with a blanket and lies down on his bed to rest. Just as he's getting comfortable, Sora appears and sits on his lap, teasing him a bit. Suddenly, Mira and Akio walk in and see Sora sitting on Arata's lap. Mira shrieks and starts scolding Arata, thinking he's doing something inappropriate with his grimoire. Akio, trying to lighten the mood, lets it slip that Mira has been really interested in Arata's progress, and has even been changing her clothes more often to feel more comfortable around him. Mira turns bright red, super embarrassed, and yells at Arata again. After everyone calms down, they discuss the recent breakdown phenomena that destroyed schools in the West. Akio shares that the Great Liber Magic Academy was also destroyed around the same time Lisa attacked them. Sora asks how they plan to get there, and Akio mentions a powerful magic teleporter that can instantly transport them to another city. Arata gets excited about using the teleporter, but then Sora makes a teasing comment about Mira's plot, and everyone starts teasing Mira. During all the joking, a cockroach crawls onto Mira, making her scream and jump onto Arata. The noise wakes Lilith, who sees Mira on Arata's lap and, thinking something's happening, pulls out her gun and blasts a hole in the wall to break up the chaos. The next day, Lilith continues Arata's training in magic. During their lunch break, Arata gets to relax in the bath with the girls. Lilith takes him to a special VIP bath that has a fantastic view of the entire city. She thinks it's the perfect spot for Arata to unwind after all his hard work. Arata thanks Lilith for the amazing view and the special treatment but seems a bit down. Lilith notices and asks him what's on his mind. Arata shyly compliments her smile, which makes Lilith blush. She then splashes him with water using her gun, making everyone laugh. Levi and the others are watching from a distance and decide to have some fun. Levi picks up a leaf and throws it at Lilith, causing her bra to snap open, exposing her plot to Arata. Embarrassed and angry, Lilith uses her gun to blast the VIP pool, sending everyone flying out of the water in a huge splash. After their break, Arata and the Trinity Seven head to the teleportation room to meet with the headmaster. They're ready to use the teleporter to travel to the other city and start their investigation. As they begin the teleportation process, something goes wrong, and the machine starts to malfunction. The headmaster, determined not to look foolish, quickly fixes the problem and successfully teleports Arata, Mira, and Sora to the Great Royal Biblia Academy. But when they arrive, they realize the rest of their friends didn't make it through the teleportation. Just as they start looking around, someone who looks exactly like Hijiri appears and tries to trick Arata. Mira quickly realizes it's a fake and uses her magic to attack the imposter. The fake Hijiri blocks the attack and retreats, saying she'll meet Arata again soon. Arata tries to get her to reveal who she really is, but she disappears into thin air. After she's gone, Sora explains that the imposter is actually the Iliad fragment, another grimoire like herself that copied Hijiri's memories and personality. This fake grimoire was pretending to be Hijiri to fool Arata, while the real Hijiri is trapped in the Shadow Realm. Sora also tells them that Hijiri's real grimoire is still hidden somewhere in the school that was supposed to be destroyed. Mira urges Sora and Arata to follow her deeper into the school to find the missing grimoire. As they go deeper, Arata wonders why the school, which should have been ruined, is still standing. When no one answers, he suggests they might be in a magic-created world. Sora agrees and fires a magic blast at a wall, but the blast bounces back. This proves Arata's theory. They are inside some kind of magical illusion. Realizing they need to escape or risk being trapped forever, they start planning their next move. But before they can figure anything out, shadow monsters suddenly appear and attack them. Mira tries to use her Super Bia archive and activate her Magus mode, but her clothes are magically ripped off, leaving her shocked and exposed. Arata quickly takes off his jacket and gives it to her, asking Sora why Mira's magic isn't working. Sora explains that the fake grimoire must have cast a spell to block their magic. However, because Sora is made entirely of magic, she isn't affected by the spell. Arata decides to leave the shadow monsters to Sora and carries Mira to a safer place. Once they're safe, Sora uses her magic to wipe out the shadow creatures. Meanwhile, the Iliad fragment, still disguised as Hijiri, shows up again and challenges Sora to a battle. Meanwhile, Arata and Mira reach a dead end. Arata finds an empty classroom and gives Mira his shirt to wear. Mira puts it on, and Arata tries to lighten the mood by telling her she looks good in it. They sit down and brainstorm how to escape from this fake world. Mira suggests they need to find a broadcast station, which could be in the center of the school or scattered around the edges, to create a magic circle that could help them escape. Arata, determined to get them out, decides to head to the center of the school to check it out. Mira, worried about him going alone, insists on coming along to help. Realizing he could use all the help he can get, Arata agrees, and together they start their search for the way out. While Arata and Mira are trying to figure out their next move, Sora and the Iliad fragment are in the middle of a fierce battle. They keep throwing magic spells at each other, taunting one another to unleash their strongest attacks. The fight gets intense, with both of them pushing their limits. Sora decides to use the most powerful spell in her grimoire, causing a massive breakdown phenomenon that nearly wipes out the Iliad fragment and the entire school. Just in time, the Iliad fragment counters by summoning her black box prison, trapping Sora inside and continuing her hunt for Arata. Meanwhile, Arata and Mira wander through the school, looking for a way to break free from the strange illusion. After searching for a while, they finally reach the center of the school. To get to the exact spot, they need to climb a tall ladder up a high wall. Mira tries to go first, but the wind keeps blowing her shirt up, showing her underwear. Arata notices this and realizes Mira is more modest than some of the other girls, like Erin or Levi, who are always a bit more daring. Wanting to protect her pride, Arata offers to carry Mira up instead. Mira, feeling embarrassed but trusting Arata, agrees. She climbs onto his back, and Arata starts the climb. As he carries her up, Arata asks Mira how she got to be so skilled at magic and earn such a high position at the academy. Mira, feeling comfortable enough to share, tells him it wasn't just her magical abilities. She starts to open up about her childhood. Mira explains that she had strong magical powers from a young age, but she was always afraid of hurting people, so she kept her distance and didn't make any friends. That all changed when she met Ecchi. Ecchi taught her how to control her magic and helped her experience the normal things every girl should. One day, while practicing, Mira lost control of her magic orb and collapsed. Ecchi found her just in time and carried her to safety, waiting by her side until she woke up. When Mira woke up, Ecchi told her to stop being afraid of her magic and to use it proudly. Since then, Mira has made it her mission to use her magic to bring justice and peace. As she shares her story, Arata listens closely, understanding Mira better. Mira blushes a little, feeling shy about sharing so much, and playfully scolds Arata for being so nosy. Arata laughs and says he likes her just the way she is, which makes Mira smile and urge him to keep climbing faster. After some effort, Arata finally reaches the top of the school center with Mira on his back. As they arrive, they see Sora trapped in the black box prison that the Iliad fragment created earlier. Before they can plan how to rescue her, the Iliad fragment appears and threatens to destroy Sora, trapping Arata and Mira in this illusion forever. She summons shadow monsters to surround them, creating a magical barrier to keep them from escaping. While thinking of a way to break free, Arata hears Sora's voice in his mind. She tells him telepathically that the school is under a barrier with the same magic as her prison. If Arata can destroy the barrier trapping her, the whole illusion will collapse, freeing everyone. Arata quickly thinks of a plan. He offers to surrender to the Iliad fragment on the condition that she lets Mira go. Mira tries to stop him, not wanting him to risk himself, but Arata is determined to save her and Sora. The Iliad fragment, believing she has the upper hand, agrees to the deal. She reveals that the real Hijiri's goal is to destroy the world and that she's only following orders. Then she begins casting a powerful spell, aiming to finish Mira off. As she starts the ritual, Arata is bound by magical vines that hold him in place. The Iliad fragment, using Sora's energy, strengthens the vines and prepares to attack Mira. Seeing Mira in danger, something inside Arata snaps. He starts to lose control, and the dark power of the Demon Lord, a still trinity, begins to awaken within him. Arata transforms into his demon form, a still, breaking free from the vines and shattering the black box prison to free Sora. With his new power, he creates a massive breakdown phenomenon, challenging the Iliad fragment's control over the illusion world. Sora warns Mira that if the Demon Lord takes over completely, they could lose Arata forever. Determined to save their friend, Mira and Sora activate their Magus modes and attack the Demon Lord. But the Demon Lord is too powerful. He easily dispels their magic, tearing their clothes apart with a single swipe. He then moves close to Mira, about to kiss her. Mira, however, bravely slaps him and shouts at him to remember who he really is, reminding him of his friends and the promise to save Hijiri. This causes Arata to hesitate, and Sora takes the opportunity to suppress the Demon Lord's presence, bringing Arata back to himself. Now back to normal, Arata asks Sora how they can escape this illusion world. Sora tells him they need to defeat the Iliad fragment to break the barrier. Arata, however, decides he doesn't want to fight her. Instead, he thanks the Iliad fragment for everything she's done and asks her for help to break free. Surprised, the Iliad fragment admits that the world is no longer under her control since the Demon Lord's power has taken over. Arata and his friends share a lighthearted laugh, which confuses the Iliad fragment. She asks why they're laughing in such a dangerous situation. Arata smiles and says they always find a way out, no matter what. Coming up with a new plan, Arata pulls out his magic gun and asks everyone to combine their powers with his. Together, they aim to destroy the black sun in the sky, which is the core of the illusion. The Iliad fragment, realizing their plan, decides to help by lending them her magic as well. They all fire a massive combined attack at the black sun, and within minutes, it shatters, and the illusion collapses, returning them all to the real world. Back in reality, Lilith and Ecchi find Arata and Mira lying on the ground near the ruins of the school, and rush over to check on them. Exhausted, Arata collapses onto Lilith's plot, but this time she doesn't mind, understanding how worn out he is. Mira gives a quick summary of what happened in the illusion world and suggests they take a break before continuing their mission. Lilith and Ecchi help carry Arata and Mira to a safe spot to rest. As they leave, Lilith senses something watching them from the ruins but decides to ignore it for now. As Arata recovers his strength, Mira fills Lilith in on all the details of what happened in the illusion world. She describes how powerful and cool Arata was, but also mentions how he almost lost control. Ecchi jokes about ending Arata if he loses control again, but Mira and Lilith defend him, saying he did his best. After some teasing, they discuss the threat of the Iscariot cult, a dangerous group behind many recent attacks. A few hours later, Arata wakes up and sees a vision of Hijiri from the illusion world. She's still trapped there, waiting for him. Arata apologizes for not being able to save her sooner and vows to get stronger so he can break the barrier and bring her back. Hijiri smiles, calling him her brave cousin and a promising Demon Lord candidate. She tells him to keep trying and promises they'll meet again soon. Just as Arata starts to feel hopeful, the Iliad fragment reappears, ready to attack. But Lilith quickly steps in, separating Hijiri's illusion from Arata. Suddenly, the real Hijiri shows up and challenges Lilith to a fight. She tears off her clothes and activates her era archive, summoning dark magic called Compound Thema Satan. Impressed by Hijiri's skill, Lilith prepares to defend Arata. Hijiri decides to steal Arata's magic to control him. She casts a powerful spell, Black Azrael, aimed straight at Lilith, but Aaron arrives just in time to block the attack with her Ruina magic. When asked how she knew they were under attack, Aaron explains she heard Arata calling her for help. Soon, Ecchi and Mira arrive, ready to defend Arata from Hijiri. Hijiri, impressed by her cousin's ability to rally his friends, conjures a magic circle, and warns them that the Iscariot cult will come for them again. She then vanishes, telling Arata to hurry back to her or risk losing everything. After she's gone, Arata thanks Aaron for saving him and gently pats her hand. Mira interrupts the moment, reminding everyone that Hijiri is probably heading to their school next, now that this one is destroyed. They look around at the ruined school and spot the Iscariot group launching an attack. Gathering their strength, Arata and the others prepare to return to their school and defend it against the evil mages. Back at the school, things are getting worse. The Iscariot mages are causing heavy damage, and only the headmaster and Levi are strong enough to hold them off for now. They're fighting fiercely, trying to buy time until the others return. Levi steps forward to face her opponent from the Iscariot group, a mage named Lug, who seems to know her well. They greet each other cautiously, sizing each other up. The headmaster, choosing to stay out of the fight for now, cheers Levi on from the sidelines. Yui informs Levi that she has safely moved all the students into her dream world, so she can fight without holding back. She wishes Levi good luck as she prepares for her battle. Levi is the first to make a move in her fight against Lug. She uses her hidden mirage technique to create afterimages, confusing Lug. Lug, however, quickly slashes through the illusions, staying alert for Levi's real attack. Just as Lug starts to catch on, the real Levi sneaks up behind her, ready to strike a finishing blow. But Lug is prepared, she sees Levi coming and blocks her attack easily. After a few intense seconds of combat, Levi manages to land a hit, slashing Lug's throat. Angry, Lug retaliates with a powerful slash across Levi's chest. Yui, watching from her dream world where she has hidden the students for safety, feels a surge of panic and nearly loses control of her powers. She can't stand seeing Levi hurt so badly. Levi coughs up blood but refuses to stay down. She gets back up, determined to continue the fight. Realizing she's in real danger, Levi decides to break the rules and use her last crest, a forbidden magic that could cost her life. She grips her kunai between her teeth and uses her Leviathan thema, creating multiple typhoons of wind to surround Lug. At first, Lug is impressed by the sheer strength of Levi's magic, but then she sneers, mocking Levi for using such a weak spell. With a few insulting words, Lug easily dispels the typhoons and looks around for Levi, who has vanished. It turns out Levi had faked using her last crest to create a distraction, allowing her to escape back inside the school to heal her wounds and recover. Inside the school, Levi quickly finds the headmaster. She needs his help to heal quickly before Lug catches up. She's exhausted and badly wounded, but the headmaster begins to heal her with his magic. As she recovers, Yui reaches out from the dream world to check on Levi, making sure she's okay. Levi reassures her that she's fine for now but admits she'll need help soon. She can't take down these evil mages on her own. In another part of the world, Arata, Mira, Akio, Lilith, and Aaron arrive in front of a crumbling structure. They quickly exchange information about it and use their combined powers to teleport back to the real world, ready to join the battle at their school. Back at the school, Levi is feeling a bit stronger and goes out to confront Lug again. This time, she uses her binding shadow threads to trap Lug between tight wires, making it impossible for her to move without risking losing a limb. Lug, however, isn't ready to give up. She summons her three powerful Theas, the Bannock, a mighty lance, Fragarach, a deadly sword, and Clom souls, metal wings attached to her back. These weapons break Levi's binding wires, freeing Lug to attack. Without hesitation, Lug teleports close to Levi and strikes her in the chest again. Levi falls to the ground, causing Yui, still watching from her dream world, to panic. She considers leaving the students she's protecting to help Levi, but she knows it's too risky. Instead, Selena decides to go out and help. She breaks free from the dream world and binds Lug with her magic before rushing over to check on Levi. Lug quickly frees herself from the restraints and launches a powerful attack on both Selena and Levi, blasting a hole in the floor. Thinking she's defeated her enemies, Lug turns her attention to the headmaster. But to her surprise, Selena calls out her name from the hole in the floor. Selena has switched consciousness with her sister, Lisa, who was trapped in a realm of frozen time. Now back and stronger than ever, Selena plans to protect her friends with all her strength. She uses her magic camera lens to call her elder twin sister, Lisa, telling her to get ready to fight. Lug lunges at Lisa, but Lisa dodges the attack and binds Lug in place. Desperate, Lug sacrifices one of her legendary weapons to break free and charges at Lisa again. This time, Lisa dodges and gives Levi, who has recovered from her wounds, the chance to strike. Levi attacks Lug, breaking her metal wings and leaving her with only her sword. Now severely weakened, Lug faces the risk of being defeated. But the tide turns when her partner, Hijiri, appears through a wormhole. Hijiri discusses some things with the group and tries to convince Lisa to join their side again. But Lisa, having embraced her role as an evil mage, refuses to switch sides. Realizing Lisa cannot be saved, Hijiri prepares a powerful magic ball, ready to finish off her enemies. Just then, a black hole opens in the ceiling, and Arata, along with the other girls, return to the school. After landing, Arata finds himself accidentally holding onto Lug's chest, earning a swift scolding. He quickly stands up and challenges Hijiri to a final battle. Hijiri agrees, eager to settle things once and for all with her cousin. Arata also wants to find out why Hijiri is so determined to get rid of him, hoping the fight will provide some answers. Wasting no time, Arata recognizes Lisa inside Selena's body and becomes Lug's master in a matter of seconds. The girls around him power up to their Magus modes, ready to face their common enemy, Hijiri. Up above, the headmaster and the master of Libra Academy sit and watch their students prepare for battle, placing their bets on who will win. Hijiri makes the first move, but Mira blocks her attack with her White Universe defense. Akio sneaks up behind Hijiri and kicks her with her mantra enchant. But Lug steps in, using her last remaining weapon to defend Hijiri. With Lug's weapon destroyed, Lisa and Levi rush forward to attack Hijiri, but she blocks their attacks effortlessly. She taunts them, explaining her magic abilities, daring them to come at her. Levi and Lisa quickly switch places, confusing Hijiri just long enough for Aaron to weaken her defenses from above. With Hijiri's guard down, Lilith and Arata charge up a powerful combined attack. They release their magic, striking Hijiri hard and depleting her power in a single blow. With his cousin weakened and unable to fight, Arata stops and checks on her. Beaten and exhausted, Hijiri decides to tell Arata the truth. After she was hit by his breakdown phenomenon, she was trapped in a limbo world where she saw multiple futures. In every future, Arata and the Trinity Seven ended up destroying the world. Even after the world reincarnated itself, Arata's demon lord powers, combined with the Trinity Seven, caused the destruction again and again. Hearing this, Arata and his friends are shocked. Hijiri refuses to let Arata become the world's reincarnation tool, not wanting him to end up with such a dark fate. She explains she doesn't want him to be the Imperium Demon Lord and suffer a terrible destiny. Arata tries to reassure her, saying the future she saw isn't set in stone and won't happen. But before he can say more, Hijiri starts to fade away, transforming into a crystal that the Master of Libra retrieves. Arata asks the Master of Libra Academy to take care of Hijiri until he's strong enough to come back for her. The Master of Libra Academy agrees with a laugh, then disappears back to her realm. With the battle over, Arata turns to his friends and, to everyone's surprise, strips off his clothes, revealing his battle scars and signaling his readiness for whatever comes next. A little while later, Lilith finds Arata outside the school grounds, sitting on a bench. She invites him to take a walk into town to see the sights and clear his mind. Arata agrees, and as they walk through town, he thanks Lilith for always being there to set him straight. He asks how he can repay her, and Lilith jokingly suggests he take her out to lunch. Arata takes Lilith to a romantic restaurant nearby, where they find Mira working as a maid. Mira turns bright red, embarrassed by her outfit, knowing Arata will tease her about it. Akio shows up seconds later and serves them a delicious feast. Arata and Lilith have a great time together, sharing stories and enjoying the food. They end their day sitting on a bench by the river watching the sunset. The evening atmosphere becomes a bit tense, with the air full of unspoken feelings. Lilith, feeling bold, holds Arata's hand for the first time and thanks him for everything he's done since joining their school. Arata blushes, stuttering for a few moments, caught off guard by her sincerity. Meanwhile, the other girls, who have been spying on them from a distance, become jealous of the budding romance between the two. Gathering his courage, Arata leans in to kiss Lilith. The worst she could do is shoot him, but he decides to take the chance. As he moves closer, Lilith shyly opens her mouth, expecting a kiss. But at the last moment, Arata chickens out, deciding instead to give her a special necklace as a gift. He starts to nervously explain the hidden powers of the necklace, making the moment more awkward. Before things get too cringeworthy, the four spying girls step out of their hiding spots, breaking up the tender moment. Eventually, Arata and the Trinity Seven members walk back to the school together, ready to start his next training arc, determined to get stronger and finally rescue his sister from whatever dark fate awaits her. And that's where this ends. Watch this next video.